Hello everyone, Darren here, and on today's episode of WoTC Academy, we're going to be looking at the third episode of the Matchmaking Explained mini-series. Specifically, we will be discussing the list of tanks across all the tiers that have special matchmaking. Now, before I begin with that information, I do need to let everyone know that there is an addendum that I must explain as one of the Wargaming staff that have been helping us with this information has actually discovered himself some additional information that he was not aware of. Now, what is this information? Well, as I've been explaining in the previous episodes and referring to this document, this information explains matchmaking for the current tanks. It also covers matchmaking for all but two retired tanks. These are the Panzer IIJ and the Panzer IIJ PS, which is a PlayStation exclusive version of the tank. These share a unique matchmaking type that Spirant Cran has dubbed LM Worse, as they only get Tier 4 battles. Now, I don't mean battle Tier 4, I mean they will only see Tier 4 battles. Now, if you have been following along with the document that I have been linking in these episodes, you will see that the special matchmaking breakdown charts do not have this special matchmaking mentioned or shown in the charts because Spirant Cran has deemed it unnecessary to add that information, as it's very unique to only two tanks, and those two tanks are retired and barely, if not ever, sold or been sold recently or at all. So, instead of confusing the community with this special matchmaking unique to only two tanks, he has just left it out, as it's a very clear outlier compared to the rest of the normal matchmaking. Now, jumping into the list, I am also going to leave the possible battle tier breakdown chart that you saw in the previous episode up for you to follow along. And speaking of following along, as I have said, the document with this list is linked in the description below for you to pull up and follow along, as well as there's a little bit more information that I'm not going to bother mentioning, otherwise we'll be here forever. So starting off with a quick disclaimer is that tiers 1, 3, 9, and 10 have no tanks with the special matchmaking that we've been discussed in the previous episodes. Other tiers are listed below. Starting off with Tier 2, we have the LM Good tanks that only see Battle Tier 2. These are the T7 Combat Car, the Python, Fox, Viper, Shark, Kraken, Hornet, and the Panzer I. For Tier 4, jumping to Tier 4, we have LM Good tanks that only see Battle Tier 4. We have the MTLS 1 G14, the Blitzen, the Valentine 2, and the Panzer B2. For LM Bad tanks that see battle tiers 4 to 6, we have the Valentine, the AMX 40, and the Key-Ho. Moving to Tier 5, we have HM Good tanks. These only see battle tiers 5 to 6. These are the M4 Improved, the M4A2E4, the Ripper, the Panzer IV Hydrostat, the Matilda Black Prince, Defiance, Grizzly 1, Frostbite, Matilda 4, Champion M4, Chinukai, T14, T14PS, VK6501H, the Excelsior, the Churchill 3, the KV220-2, the Bogatyr, the Stug 4, the Hidden, the Su-85I. Moving to Tier 6, we have HM Good tanks that only see battle tier 6 to 7. We have the Tog 2 Star, the British Bulldog. For HM Bad tanks that only see battle tier 7 to 8, we have the Snakebite and the T50-2. For Tier 7, we have HM Good tanks that see battle tier 7 to 8. These are the T23E3, the Panzer V-M10, the Champion, the Warlord Panther, Tiger 131, Boulder, Banana Buster, T28 HTC, E25, AT-15A, and for the HM Bad tanks that only see battle tiers 8 to 9, we have the Lycan. Lastly, for Tier 8, we have HM Good tanks that only see battle tiers 8 to 9. We have the T26E4, T95E2, the Freedom, the Panther 88, STA2, STA2 Black, and Senshi, the Type 59, the T34-3 and T34-3 Black, the M6A2E1, the Bog Horror, the IS6, KV5, Gorinich, IS6 Black, FCM50T, Liberté, WZ111, 112, Alpine Tiger, and the Jagdtiger 88. Now, as I mentioned right at the start before the list, that there are no Tier 9 and Tier 10 tanks that have special matchmaking based on the information that I've been providing in the previous episodes. There is, however, a type of matchmaking that is not exactly the special matchmaking that I've been discussing, but seen as it is a unique type of matchmaking, and it regards to the matchmaking algorithm, of course. I do feel it important to mention these as well, and that is tanks with one-to-one matchmaking. Now, if you don't know what one-to-one matchmaking is, it's basically the same exact tank must be present on both teams in type and number. So, for example, the AVRE, basically, if you see one AVRE on your team, there is guaranteed to be an AVRE on the other team. If there's two, there's going to be two. Now, for Tier 10, there's only two tanks that are confirmed to have one-to-one matchmaking. That is the AVRE and Turan. Now, for Tier 9, it was recently confirmed that this tank had one-to-one matchmaking. That is the Night Stalker. But at that same time of them confirming it, it was announced that they may look at removing the one-to-one matchmaking because they added it at the time around Halloween when literally like everyone was playing it. But since then, not a whole lot of people are playing the tank, and when it was brought up on stream, it was openly confirmed and discussed that that they may be removing the one-to-one matchmaking from the tank because, again, like not a whole lot of people are playing it. There is no confirmed if or when that will happen, but for the sake of this video, seeing as it still has the one-to-one matchmaking as far as we know, we're going to mention it in this video, and that may change in the future. But that does it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget that the document that I've been referring to in the past this episode and the past two is linked in all three episodes in the descriptions for you to view and download for free. And I'd like to give special thanks to Spirant Cran and the Wargaming staff for putting the document together to help the community out, and Spirant Cran for letting me use that document to make these videos. But until next time, this has been Darren of WoTC Academy.